So, I've been scrolling on YouTube and a lot of videos popped up like, oh my god, Gen Z faking mental disorders. And I'm like, no, no way. Oh, mental disorders for clout, obviously, on TikTok. Full disclaimer, I'm not going to talk about. I'm not going to show you the videos because I don't want those fucking people in my video on my channel, okay? Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about myself. My name is Victoria. I'm 22, sorry. I'm going to be 23 on Monday. Fuck me. And I was diagnosed 2 years ago with a bipolar disorder. I was diagnosed a few months ago with schizophrenia and ADD. So, just to prove you that I'm not faking my mental disorders for clout and attention, those are just band-aids. I've got... God, that's a lot. I should start selling, the Xanax I have. Like, that will be like a great income. Joking. Okay, so that's my Xanax. My psychiatrist told me to take one every day, and I don't take one every day because some days I'm not feeling anxious or stuff like that. So I only take it when I'm walking so I can focus more and be less like, woo. So that's what I've got. It's just showing you that. So I'm on 0.50 milligrams. I've got a lot. For my schizophrenia when I was diagnosed, because I told my psychiatrist about a voice saying very mean stuff about people, and he said, yeah, that's not you thinking, you're schizophrenic. You're schizophrenic. And I was like, I don't want to have that. And he was like, well, bitch, you don't have any choice. So I started taking that, and it's risperidone. Well, I'm in France, so I don't know I don't know how you call it in the US or in the UK. So sorry. So I got this, and the side effects were like, oh boy. I did not like it because I couldn't focus on anything and my head was empty. It did make the little voice go away, but I want to be. So I stopped it, and it caused a major depression phase that lasted for 2 months, and I'm just getting out of it slowly. The first med I was prescribed by my psychiatrist was Lamital. So, oh my god. Okay, I don't know if you can see it. And it's like a mood regulator, so it calms my mania phases and my depression phases. And it also treats my ADD, so it's perfect. Like a 2-in-1. More Xanax. That was Atarax, so it was to help me with my anxiety first. And I couldn't take it because I'm taking those meds to help me sleep. And apparently the pharmacist told me that you can't take these and these in the same time because you will have a bad reaction. And I'm like, no, thank you. So I stopped taking it, but I still have it, like, just in case. One of my meds, and I'm actually out of them, I need to see my psychiatrist. So I've got, it's called quetiapine, and it's called Seroquel, I guess in the United States. It's mainly for my bipolar disorder. It helps with my depression phases most of the time. And it also helps with my schizophrenia. So when I told my psychiatrist that those were no way. He told me that we were going to up the dose on those meds. So I was at 300 milligrams, and now I'm on 400. And yeah. Also, I realized that Gen Z are not faking having yeast infection. So that's my yeast infection. Nothing to do with my mental disorders, but just yeast infections happen, you know. Those were for my heart problems. I'm out. That's my risperidone. I really need to go to the pharmacy to just give them the meds so they can recycle them. More Lamictal. The reason I have so much Lamictal is because I got an allergic reaction. I had, red spots all over my chest. So my psychiatrist told me to stop using it. And I said, okay, I will stop using it. But I did not stop using it because, it helps me a lot. But it's also fucking disgusting. When I drink it, I put it in water, I wait for it to dissolve entirely, I pinch my nose and I drink it. And then I put more water and I drink it because otherwise it will make me puke. So yeah, I guess those are my meds. Those are empty, so I just put them in the bin. Anyway, so for the people faking mental disorders, I just got one question. I don't like my mental disorders. Would you like to switch with me? Because if you wanted to bring you clout, at least that's the least I can do for you. Also, the need to be the center of attention. Ah, God. The mental disorders are not quirky. It's not something to be proud about. And also one of the problem is that in the past few years, something good happened. There's less taboo around mental disorders, but it's still a problem. Delicious. And when I see videos of people faking it, it's just, well, first of all, I get second-hand embarrassment. It's like so cringe. It's so cringy. I'm like, oh my God, it makes me want to puke and like eat it back and puke it again. So yeah, one of the reasons I don't like it, it's because it's like so obvious that it's fake, and I tried to kill myself quite a few times, eight times. I'm not really good at killing myself. Shouldn't joke about it, but like joking about my problems, it's sort of a coping mechanism. So it changed how my family sees me. When they talk to me, it's like they are walking on eggshells because they are scared I might be crazy and be like, oh my God, making a scene or something like that. When I tell people that I have schizophrenia, they kind of seem worried because schizophrenia is, depicted in movies like fucking crazy people. My uncle has schizophrenia. Actually, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and ADD runs in my family, in both sides of my family. So it's a huge problem. One of the problem is I can't have children. It doesn't mean that I can't have children. Imagine I have sex, I can be pregnant. But if I decide to have children, they might need to take those meds for the rest of their lives. And I don't want to be this selfish person because I don't want my children to suffer the way that I'm suffering. because so with bipolar disorders, I've got lows and ups. My ups are higher than the average person, a person that doesn't have a bipolar disorder, and my lows are very low. In my depression phases, I can't get out of my bed, I can't shower, I can't brush my teeth. I stay in the same t-shirt, in the same underwears. Yes, that's fucking disgusting, but it's the truth. We have to stop romanticizing those kind of disorders, because it's not something to be, it's not something quirky. It shouldn't be like, oh wow, she's so lucky, she has a bipolar disorder. So I said it's not something to be proud of, but maybe I was wrong in saying that. I'm kind of proud of how I'm dealing with it most of the time. So yeah, my depression phases also, it affects every parts of my life. I can't wash the dishes, so I don't eat. I can't taste the food right. I will just bite into a burger and it doesn't have any tastes. So I have to put a lot of spicy sauces in my food in order to taste something, kind of Olivia in iZombie. But I don't crave brains, I crave razor blades. So my hypomania phase is, well, a lot of people say, wow, mania is so cool because, you feel good. And that's kind of how I feel about it, because at least when I'm in a mania phase, I can do something, I can do stuff. I can talk to my friends. I'm like funny and talkative and I talk a lot. But I also can spend 300 euros in 15 minutes. So that's great. I have no... when I try budgeting to save money, I can't do it. Because I just have the urge and the impulse to buy things for new hobbies that will last 2 weeks. So yeah, my bipolar disorder, my schizophrenia, and my schizophrenia, I haven't talked about it. My schizophrenia, so how it affects me. So since I was quite little, I've had this voice in my head, thinking and saying horrible stuff. For example, I will talk to my mom, and when she'll say I love you, and I'll say I love you too, and there's this voice in my head who will say, wow, she's such a cunt, I hate her, like, when is she going to die? And before my diagnosis, I was like, I'm a horrible person for thinking that. At one point I had a lot of money problems, so my mom helped me. And when I will get the money, the voice in my head will say, oh, fucking finally, we're just using her for money, we don't really love her. So yeah, I went to... So at one point it got so bad that I couldn't have a conversation with loved ones without my voice saying horrible stuff about them. So I went to my psychiatrist and I said, what's going on? I don't understand what's going on. I'm a horrible person. I'm a sociopath. And I'm like, are you going to diagnose me with sociopathic tendencies or stuff like that? And he said, no, you've got schizophrenia. And well, it runs in the family. So, and I said, well, I don't really want to be schizophrenic, And he said, well, you don't have a fucking choice. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. So, for example, one day I was at work and there's this man and he was wearing a Rick and Morty t-shirt, and I was like, oh my god, I love it. So I went up to him and I'm like, oh my god, I love your t-shirt. And he was fat, and I have no problems with fat people. But the little voice in my head said, wow, he's so fucking fat. He's so fucking disgusting. And so I gave him his food. I went to the toilet. And I was like, every time the voice says something, I'm like that, hurting myself as if it's coming from me. It's really hard because sometimes I will be talking to my sister who's going through some really hard shit, and I will be like, oh, you deserved it. No, I will not be like that, but the voice will say that. So now it got better because we've got, some changes with my meds. But it's fucking horrible. And when I see people faking disorders like that, it's like, okay, they got clout, they got what they wanted, they are the center of attention. But they actually don't have to live through what I live and through what other people who have the same disorders that I have live through, arguing through that. And that's like really hard. And so yeah, it's disgusting. It's they clearly want attention, just attention-seeking sluts, and it makes me angry. I swear to God. Or other problems also that I have. Sometimes I have bald spot at the back of my head because when I get angry or when I get stressed, I just tear my hair out. When I was younger, I used to do it here, so now I have kind of this bald spot, and I'm really self-conscious about that. So yeah, that's really difficult. And my mental disorder, I don't know if I said that already, it affects me, it affects the people around me. People are worried about me all the time. I had a lot of problems. I had a problem with alcohol for a while. I will wake up and I was like, okay, let's just drink whiskey, because I was in very harsh depression phase and I just wanted to die, and I had this whole plan. I planned my death. I went to the bank. I was ready to close my accounts. I took a piece of paper. I wrote all my passwords to all my stuff, and I was ready to write suicide letters for my loved one. It got so bad at one point that that I had razor blades in my bag at all times, so that it was one of my coping mechanism, which is a bad one. I would just have it in my bag so I could self-harm at any given time, at any given moment. So one day when I was very angry, I was in the bus and I was just like hiding, and I took the razor blade and I just I have scars on my legs and on my arms when so yeah, so that's really difficult when people are faking traumas. I was sexually assaulted when I was already, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 6 by my uncle, and that was like really hard. I kind of internalized it, and it kind of went to the surface when I was 18 years old. So it really hurts me, and it makes me really angry when I see people faking those disorders just because they think it's fun. I don't have DID, but I follow some people who really have DID, and their lives are really hard. When you have DID, you have a lot of memory loss. I do also have memory loss with my meds, which is kind of a side effect. So yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to talk about. I don't think this video will get any views, but I just wanted to show you what it's really like to have mental disorders, and that's not something that should be faked. Also, another problem though, some people self-diagnose, and some people self-diagnose for clout, okay, but some people self-diagnose because they don't have the means to go see a psychiatrist. For example, my psychiatrist is retiring in October, and that's like really bad, because I'm going to have to find another one, and nearly all the psychiatrists are not taking any new patients, so I will still be able to get my meds with my doctor. But yeah, so it's hard. Like, please stop faking disorders like that, because yeah. Anyway, goodbye. And I'm really happy I did not cry in this video, so yeah, bye!